I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You have said
you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here. As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy...
Oh, that's super funny. Today we're watching Elizabeth Warren completely melting down in front of Robert F. Kennedy during his confirmation hearing. Let's go.
I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies,
no,
and I'm not going to agree to that,
drug
Senator.
Companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies or anybody.
So let's do a quick count here of how, as Secretary of HHS, if you get confirmed, you could influence every one of those lawsuits. Well, let me start the list. You could publish your anti-vaccine conspiracies, but this time on U.S. government letterhead, something a jury might be impressed by. You could appoint people to the CDC vaccine panel who share your anti-vax views and let them do your dirty work. You could tell the CDC vaccine panel to remove a particular vaccine from the vaccine schedule. You could remove vaccines from special compensation programs, which would open up manufacturers to mass torts. You could make more injuries eligible for compensation even if there is no causal evidence. You could change vaccine court processes to make it easier to bring junk lawsuits. You could turn over FDA data to your friends at the law firm and they could use it however it benefited them. You could change vaccine labeling. You could change vaccine information rules. You could change which claims are compensated in the vaccine injury compensation program. There's a lot of ways that you can influence those future lawsuits and pending lawsuits while you are Secretary of HHS. And I'm asking you to commit right now that you will not take a financial stake in every one of those lawsuits so that what you do as Secretary will also benefit you financially down the line.
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You have said
you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here. As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturing across our country. And for all of his talk about follow the science and his promise that he won't interfere with those of us who want to vaccinate his kids, the bottom line is the same. Kennedy can kill off access to vaccines and make millions of dollars while he does it. Kids might die, but Robert Kennedy can keep cashing in.
Senator, I support vaccines. I support the childhood schedule. I will do that. The only thing I want is good science, and that's it.
How about then say you won't make money off what you do as Secretary of HHS?
Oh my God, this was completely ridiculous. Elizabeth Warren is completely out of line, and it makes total sense that she would be so angry, and they are defending vaccine manufacturers because look at how much money she took during her campaign in 2020. That much money, over $800,000 from pharmaceuticals company and health product companies. This is insane. That's why she's basically in her speech defending the pharmaceutical company. Nobody wants you to defend the pharmaceutical company and the vaccine manufacturer. It makes no sense at all. Robert Kennedy said many times that he is in favor of vaccine. All he wants is the right for people to choose, to have the science backing the vaccine and get people the liberty and the freedom to choose what they give to their children. And she is there defending the pharmaceutical companies that are making billions and billions on the back of the sick people in America. It's sad.
His answers are he intends to continue to make money off his anti-vax position. Look, He says he won't go to work for drug companies because the American people have a right to know that the decisions made while he is Secretary of HHS are only for the good of the American people. And yet, he wants to keep a piece of the action on every one of these anti-vax lawsuits. And what that means potentially is, as Secretary of HHS, he can make those lawsuits a whole lot more profitable. In fact, he may have the opportunity to bankrupt the vaccine manufacturers, and then nobody gets vaccine.
Are you worried that he's in the position to serve his own interests?
That is the problem. He has said he will protect his right to make money off the position of Secretary of HHS. That means that every decision he makes could be for the American people or could be just to benefit RFK Jr.
Do you think any of the points you're
This is completely ridiculous. RFK Jr. said many times that he wants the role to protect the life of the American children, to make people healthy again, to make America healthy again. He's not there to make money at all. He just wants good science and people being able to choose what vaccines they take or not. And this is amazing to me. I think he's totally right to have this position. I think he is going to be great for the role, and you can tell that he is very passionate about this and that he wants the best for the country, that he wants the best for the American people. And Elizabeth Warren is basically completely out of line. I think she has her own political agenda and her own narrative in her head already completely in place, and she won't budge. She is not listening at all in this clip on what Robert Kennedy is saying. She just has her own views on what she thinks is right and what is not right, and what Kennedy wants to do and not to do, and doesn't want to hear anything. Honestly, just look at what Trump said about her. It's super funny.
The moment I'm sworn in, the persecution stops and the weaponization ends against your industry. And as long as I'm in the Oval Office, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, do you remember? Yes, I'm an Indian. Yes, she said, I'm an Indian. Why are you an Indian? You don't look like an Indian. No, my mother told me I have high cheekbones. Oh, that's why she was an Indian. So I named her Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren and her goons, and she's very nasty to you. She hates your people. She hates everything about you. Will keep their hands off Bitcoin. They're going to keep their hands off crypto. They're going to let it grow. We're going to let it grow. The moment I'm...
Oh, let's see what people are saying in the comments. She should at least credit the author of her rant. Brought to you by Pfizer. Yes, probably. It's insane to me that she is defending the pharmaceuticals company that make billions and the vaccine manufacturer. Basically, it's sad, honestly. She is a lying hypocrite. Makes my stomach turn. Elizabeth Warren breaks down, shows her true color, defending Big Pharma over the people. RFK just exposed her in a blink, proving she's all about protecting her donors. Yeah, I truly believe that she can't hide her corporate allegiance. RFK is for the people. He wants to protect children. He wants to make America healthy. And there you have Elizabeth Warren demanding that RFK do not sue the big pharmaceutical company. It is sad, honestly. She is completely out of line. She makes tons of money during her campaign by supporting the pharmaceutical company and such as Pfizer, and now he's revealing their true color in front of everybody during this hearing. Yeah, sad. Honestly, let me know what you think about this. Do you think Kennedy is right? Do you think Elizabeth Warren is right? I don't think so myself. Thanks for watching as always, and click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye.